Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Purple Haze podcast. I am your host, Isaac. So, the Vikings, they fall to 0-1 after falling short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at US Bank Stadium. Final score 2017. What the heck was that? I don't even know what to say about that loss, but that is just excruciating to watch, I mean. So this is just on basically a couple of people, or maybe three things that should have gone wrong, and the penalties were just excruciating. The mistakes were there. So getting to that, let's get into the game. The Vikings, for their total yards, they got 369 total yards, 328 passing yards, 41 rushing yards, 18 first downs, 6 of 14 on the third down conversions, one sack, 0 turnovers. For the Buccaneers side, the Buccaneers had 242 total yards, 169 yards, 73 rushing yards. They held the ball a minute longer than the Vikings. 16 first downs, 6 of 17 on their third down conversions, 2 sacks, 3 turnovers. And so basically, let's get off to the players in particular and the people. Starting with the good, I thought the receiving corps absolutely did a stellar job. They made the most of their opportunities when it is presented to them. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 150 yards. And I feel really bad for Justin Jefferson. He deserved better to win this game, basically. It's just a shame that these receivers fought their butts off. And Justin Jefferson leading that with 9 for 150. He's still got it in him, basically. It's just in the second half, besides that possession in the third quarter, we just faded out and just didn't give him a chance. And Jordan Addison had 4 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. That 39-yard touchdown was spectacular. Where Justin Jefferson was bracketed, he was triple covered by the Buccaneers cornerbacks, and they played it magnificently. Jordan Addison just had to catch the ball. He was wide open. He did so. So it was absolutely an amazing debut from Jordan Addison. So for TJ Hawkinson, he had 8 catches for 35 yards. I thought he did a good job for a couple clutch catches on third down. KJ Osborne, 3 for 31, had some clutches as well. And so I thought Alexander Madison did okay for the most part. I mean, he absolutely fought for some tough yards, 11 for 34 yards. I felt like he was fighting for them. So I thought, and he also got a touchdown as well. So honestly, Alexander Madison did not do too bad for himself. Just didn't decide to really, I wish we would have run the ball more, but it is what it is. And as on the defensive side, And on the defensive side, I thought Brian Flores cooked himself up a good game. Brian Flores did himself a good job, and absolute props to him. And the passing, they only held Baker Mayfield to 169 passing yards. He had 5 yards per pass completion, and that is okay. That is a good job. And they held the Buccaneers to 20 points, and that is spectacular. It should have been 13, but we'll explain the mistake why that is later. It's just that sometimes, yes, there was some soft coverage, but they got gassed out because the offense did them no favors whatsoever. So, and also a spectacular, and the reason why, and also in the first half, they held the Vikings to 30 yards. I mean, the Buccaneers to 30 yards. After that touchdown, they only held them to 30 yards. That is a top-tier defensive performance. As for the defensive individuals, Ivan Pace Jr. looked spectacular against the first team. He had himself 6 tackles. He was all over the place in the game. He made a few mistakes, but he made up for it for a great, spectacular game out of Ivan Pace Jr. He looks amazing already in the Viking debut. Good job by him. Harrison Phillips, he was disruptive. He batted the ball at the line of scrimmage and had a TFL on back-to-back plays for Harrison Phillips. Good job I thought Harrison Phillips did great. Josh Metellus, he was outstanding stuffing the run. He had a TFL as well. He played spectacular today. So, and also Danielle Hunter, he had himself a sack. Got basically after Baker Mayfield on one play. And Benton Whitley, he almost got after the quarterback. It's just we couldn't finish him off. We couldn't finish off the sack. It's just a shame we couldn't. And Mekhi Blackman, I mean, he absolutely had a nice pass breakup on one deep play to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And you know what? Overall, the defense held off. They played spectacular. They were consistently getting after Baker Mayfield. They were consistently stopping the run really well. They did what they could to get this team a win. It is a shame it is an absolute shame that we could not do it. As for the bad, here we go. Maybe I'm going to nitpick a few things. Ed Ingram, I mean, one of the turnovers was not Kirk Cousins' fault. That fumble on the first play should have resulted in points, but he popped the ball out of his own quarterback. I've never seen a guard do that ever. So basically Ed Ingram needs to be benched for Blake Brandel. Simple as that. And Jay Ward with that penalty on basically the field goal attempt to the Tampa Bay. Offsides, I mean, it's a rookie mistake. It happens, but that just gave the Buccaneers, instead of 3, you gave them a touchdown, which probably could have been a much closer game. Probably the Vikings could have won this game with that penalty happening, but still just not great. Kevin O'Connell, to some degree, it's not his fault that we lost this game entirely, but I mean, he could have done a little bit of better job of disciplining his team, just some penalties, just kind of running the ball a little bit more. I wish he would have done a little bit more of that. And the screen passes were not working, so I mean, it's not entirely his fault. I mean, he was aggressive for the most part, I'll give him that, but just sometimes you need to be a little bit better. Just make some adjustments. Kirk Cousins. My gosh, he was awful. He played with no heart. He looked like he did not want to be on the football field. He was nowhere to be found. He was 33 for 44, 344 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The stats look like he actually did good. Definitely was not. Those are empty stats for Kirk Cousins. I mean, the way that we saw him, he copied exactly what he did with the Giants against the wild card. Checkdowns after checkdowns. He didn't even give receivers. Let me count the ways. He did not take care of the ball on the fumble that should have resulted in, which basically gave the Buccaneers a field goal. He did not take care of the ball. And that interception right at the red zone, he forced it to KJ Osborne in triple coverage, which is easily to be a pass breaking up or an interception. And an interception happened, which took points off the board for the Vikings instead of none. Worst case scenario, you got 3. And then as the game went on in the fourth quarter, he threw checkdowns, he threw screen passes, and he looked like he wanted to quit in that game. And that is pathetic. Kirk Cousins, he is more than likely, he is 35 years old. He has played this Vikings team for 6 years. And you don't know what you're doing to put this team. The defense gave you many opportunities to give you that game and to say, we did it for you. Now you just need to help us out. And you didn't. The defense did their part. And the receivers made the most of what they did. You didn't give your receivers a chance. You were overthrowing them. You were throwing it to the sidelines. You were throwing screen passes to TJ Hawkinson, to Josh Oliver, to CJ Ham. And of course the defense read through them because you're throwing them right to them. And I don't want to hear the pressure that he faced. Okay? Every quarterback has to face that when they are facing that. And sure, Kevin O'Connell made some magical errors, but what do you do when you just get punched in the mouth? What happens when things around you aren't looking the way? You need to put your team on your back like you need to act like you're the leader. Where was the leader there out of Kirk Cousins? $40 million. He is 35 years old. And he is checking out of the game as if he wanted no part in that game? That is inexcusable. He soiled himself. Your quarterback was nowhere to be found. And you want to know what? It is hard to trust Kirk Cousins anymore. I am sorry. I am sick. And this has been the story of Kirk Cousins' career with the Washington Redskins and with the Minnesota Vikings. With the best weapons at his disposal, with Justin Jefferson, with Jordan Addison, with KJ Osborne, and TJ Hawkinson, you check down and you soil yourself when you need to put up points. Inexcusable. I don't want to hear anything about the offensive line and Kevin O'Connell because I am not defending Kirk Cousins after that piece of crap that I saw on Sunday. You have to play better when the offensive line is, and we didn't see it. I don't know whether to trust you or not in these big moments. This loss is on Kirk Cousins. That is on you because you have a captain patch and you need to show it when you are a veteran. I mean, that is all I have to say about Kirk Cousins. As for the MVP, the defense, Brian Flores, I got to give absolute props. It's just disheartening when the quarterback does not do anything and the defense is led hang out to dry. The defense, they did what they had to do. It's just a shame we lost this game. So I don't even know if we're going to win the Eagles. You are looking at an 0-2 start. And you know what? Kirk Cousins, this is on you. Shame on you for that performance. So we'll do a video tomorrow. We'll do a video Wednesday. We'll do a video tomorrow on the Eagles preview. We'll do a video Wednesday on week 2 picks. We'll see you guys in the next video. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Skol.